пацаны работают.
Бля!
Paratroopers rocket artillery units reach the enemy even on right bank of Dnieper River. In Kherson region, Grad MLRS units round the clock are on combat duty and systematically neutralize AFU manpower and hardware on the right bank of the Dnieper River. Reconnaissance and fire adjustment are carried out by UAVs. During another combat mission, the paratroopers units hit AFU temporary deployment area. Up to one platoon of AFU troops was eliminated. Servicemen of Central MD's 55th Guards Brigade told about clearing of Avdiivka from Ukrainian nationalists. The fighters showed the way by which the assault groups made their way to the city center, demonstrated the fortified positions of the AFU and foreign-made weapons abandoned by Ukrainian units during the retreat. Enemy fire points were in almost every house. Nearby are networks of trenches and shelters, and among the houses are military vehicles. Now fighters are finding mortar shells, hand grenade launchers, ammunition tanks, and grenades for under-barrel grenade launchers left by the AFU at their positions. Most of the weapons and ammunition found were imported. The servicemen of the center group of forces also noted that during their escape, the enemy left a huge amount of evidence confirming the direct participation of mercenaries from the USA, Canada, and EU countries in the AFU nationalist units. Military police liquidated a cache of weapons and ammunition in Zaporozhye region. The cache left by Ukrainian militants was discovered in one of the abandoned buildings. It contained 4 F1 grenades, a hand grenade launcher, and small arms ammunition. Military police officers confiscated the explosive find and sent it to a training ground for destruction. On a daily basis, servicemen of the military commandant's office ensure the security of the population of the liberated territories by suppressing illicit trafficking in weapons and hijacking vehicles, searching for caches of explosive objects, and combating sabotage and reconnaissance groups of the criminal Kiev regime. In Donetsk direction, units of the Yug group of force liberated Pobeda. The enemy losses were more than 410 troops, 1 tank, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 5 motor vehicles, Polish-made Krab and Bogdana self-propelled artillery systems, 1 D-20 howitzer, and 1 Gvozdika self-propelled artillery system. In Avdiivka direction, units of the center group of forces took more advantageous lines and positions and inflicted losses on AFU manpower and hardware. Russian Defense Ministry shows Russia's Tornado SMLRS, Grad MLRS, Su-25 ground attack aircraft in action in the special military operation. While military police units liquidate a cache of weapons and ammunition in Zaporozhye region, the Vostok group of forces units in the field restore armored vehicles that previously could only be repaired at a factory. Center group of forces servicemen show trophies captured at one of the FU strongholds in Avdiivka. Captured Ukrainian servicemen tells of catastrophic shortage of personnel and huge losses in the AFU ranks. Army aviation strike groups continue to perform tasks in Krasny-Liman direction. Each strike group includes the Ka-52 reconnaissance and attack helicopter, the Mi-35 transport helicopter, and the Mi-8 multi-purpose helicopter. During the combat flight, the pilots are accompanied by specialists from the search and rescue team and the fire support team. Report by Press Center Chief of Zapad Group of Forces. Units of the Zapad Group of Forces continue to perform tasks in Kupiansk direction. The group's motorized rifle units supported by artillery and aviation repelled 3 attacks launched by assault detachments of the AFU 57th Motorized Rifle Brigade near Sinkovka Railroad Station and Lemon Lake. In the course of counter-battery warfare, the Lancet loitering munitions neutralized 4 artillery systems, namely 2 M198 tote howitzers, 1 U.S.-made M777 howitzer, 1 Jayatsin S self-propelled howitzer, and 1 122mm Gvozdika self-propelled artillery system. The group's air defense units intercepted 9 unmanned aerial vehicles, namely 5 Lelika 100, 3 Furia, and 1 Valkyrie. The AFU losses in Kupiansk direction amounted to up to 30 Ukrainian troops, 4 artillery pieces, 3 mortar crews, 2 armored personnel carriers, 1 armored combat vehicle, 9 unmanned aerial vehicles, and 3 motor vehicles. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin inspect readiness of headquarters building of Moscow Military District. Russian Defense Minister General of the Army Sergei Shoigu and Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin inspected the progress of the overhaul of the headquarters building of the Moscow Military District on the Kosmodemianskaya embankment in Moscow. The head of the Russian military department thanked the mayor of Moscow for the work already done on the reconstruction of the historical building of the headquarters of the Moscow Military District. A lot of work, Sergei Simonovich, a lot of work, and our words of gratitude. This is the revival of the Moscow Military District, Sergei Shoigu said. In accordance with the decree of the President of the Russian Federation, the Western MDs will be reorganized into 2 new strategic territorial formations of the armed forces of the Russian Federation, the Moscow and Leningrad military districts. Currently, the governing bodies of the Moscow Military District are being formed and funds are being prepared to accommodate the headquarters of the Joint Strategic Command of the Moscow Military District in a historic building on the Kosmodemianskaya embankment. All construction and installation work is carried out taking into account the fact that the headquarters building is an object of cultural heritage of federal significance. While preserving the historical interiors, the builders integrate modern equipment, telecommunications, and engineering networks to ensure the operational management of troops. In the combat control room of the Moscow Military District headquarters, Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin handed over to Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu the acceptance certificate of the facility after carrying out a complex of repair and restoration works. The accommodation of units of the headquarters of the Moscow Military District in the reconstructed building is scheduled for March this year.
Пацаны работают.
Бля!